how to actually master your mind and dominate life without quitting on easy mode. All right, listen up, because I'm about to drop some truth on you. Your brain, it's the most powerful weapon that you have on the planet, but most of you don't even realize it. Everyone's glued to their phones, their computers, living in this digital fantasy world. But when you're in the trenches fighting the real battles in your mind, none of that tech is going to save you. Depression, hard times, pain, you can't Google that. When you're at your lowest, your brain's the only thing you've got. And if you can't control it, it'll control you. Now you've got to set your mind to a place where you know that there's no way out. I don't care how broken you are, physically, mentally, whatever. When I was training for my career, it wasn't about I'm trying hard. It was about this is my new normal. Pain, suffering, screw that, because I didn't quit. You have to immerse yourself in the grind, in the struggle, until it becomes who you are. And if you're not willing to go that deep to break through the mental wall, you're weak and you're gonna quit when it gets hard. But when you keep pushing, when you keep fighting through the broken back, broken dreams, that's when you realize that you're truly capable of whatever you set your mind to. You think it's easy. You think you'll find peace sitting on your couch? Peace comes when you go through the fire, when you push your mind beyond its limits. You'll never understand your full potential until you're so deep in the grind that quitting isn't even an option. This is how I made it through, how I became what I am. Make your brain obey. And when it's all said and done, that's the only thing that matters. The world will try to beat you down, but if you can't control that mind, there's nothing that you'll achieve. And if you can control it, there's nothing you can't. Listen to me carefully, because this is the reality that you need to face. Hard work is not a choice, it's a necessity. You're not going to get anywhere just by trying hard. Trying hard is what everyone says when they're on the verge of quitting. But doing the work, day in and day out, even when it hurts, even when it feels like your body's done, that's where the real power lies. People see success. They see the glory, but they don't see the suffering, the nights of brokenness, the sacrifice. You want peace? Good. Then you've got to find it on the other side of the blood, sweat, and tears. And let me tell you something that will make or break you. Most people are liars. They tell you they're working hard. But when it's time to show up, when it's time to push through the pain, they back down. You're not here to be like everybody else. You're here to dominate. You've got to rewire your brain to coordinate yourself and condition yourself to thrive in discomfort. The more uncomfortable, the better. Because that's where the real growth happens. I don't care if you're sick, if you're injured, if you're tired, you keep going. You need to break through. And once you do, you'll realize that you're not just surviving anymore. You're actually thriving. But here's the key. There's no easy way out. Life will throw every obstacle at you, and if you're weak-minded, you can't push through that pain. You're done. You can't give yourself any exit strategy. You need to burn your ships. No plan B. When I was training in my career, we were told it was going to be hell. And I didn't have a choice but to climb out of that. Every single day I pushed, I fought, I never let up. And that's how you win. You create your own path, your own rules, and you tell yourself, this is where I live now. And I'm not going to stop. And that's how you win. The mind is what separates champions from the rest. Your mind will lie to you. It'll tell you that you're tired, that you can't keep going, that you need a rest, but you can't listen to that. Instead, tell your mind, no, this is the new normal. Your mind will adapt just like mine did when it was broken, tired, and alone. It adapted to the grind, it adapted to the suffering, and eventually that suffering became my fuel, and it still is. Your brain will learn to love the grind if you make it. There's no magic formula here, no quick fix, only hard work, discipline, and an unbreakable will. So stop looking for shortcuts, get in the trenches, start making your mind stronger than anything else. And if you can control it, you own it. And when you own your own mind, you own your life. And nobody can take that from you. And you have to remember, it's a trust from God. If you forget that, this is all worthless. You want to know why most people never reach their full potential? It's because they're too busy looking for excuses. They blame their circumstances, their upbringing, and their environment. And I don't want to hear it. The truth is, nobody cares. Nobody cares about your sob story. The world doesn't care that you're tired or that you're struggling or that things aren't going your way. The world only cares about results, and so should you. And the only way to get results is to put in the work and never, ever stop. So you think success just falls into your lap? Absolutely not. Success is earned, and it's earned by those who are willing to get a little bit uncomfortable. Matter of fact, a lot uncomfortable. To suffer, to grind, when everyone else is just sitting on their couch, sitting on their behind. And there's a reason why most people never accomplish anything. They don't make it their identity. Success, greatness, overcoming obstacles, that has to be who you are. And it's not something that you do on the weekends. It's not something that you do when you feel like it. No, it's a lifestyle. When I was out there, broken, training, working, going without food, going without comforts, I didn't care what anyone else was doing. They could quit all they wanted. I had no other option but to keep going. And that's the mentality. That is the mentality that is the only thing that will get you through the storm when everything else falls apart. You don't ever give up. Ever. People ask me how I got to where I am. How I managed to come back time and time again when nobody was at my side, when my body was on the brink of collapse. The answer is simple. I refuse to quit. And when you refuse to quit, when you commit to pushing past your limits every single day, that's when it will start. That's when your brain starts to shift. You realize that you're capable of more than you ever thought possible. But that shift doesn't happen by wishing or hoping and only praying for the things to be better. It happens when you get up and you do the work no matter how much it sucks. So what's the lesson here? It's simple. If you control your brain, you can influence your life. Don't let weak-minded masses drag you down with their excuses, their comfort, and their desire for an easy life. The only way you can win is by embracing the struggle. So accept that it's going to be hard, accept that you're going to be uncomfortable, and then welcome it, because that's where the power is. That's where you grow. That's where you become unstoppable. And if God allows you to do that with your intention, whatever you put your mind to is possible. When things get tough, when your mind tells you to quit, when you feel like you can't go on, remember this. You haven't even scratched the surface of what you're capable of. Your brain is just trying to protect you in those words from discomfort. So don't let it. You're not here to live comfortably. You're here to dominate. So stop waiting for things to change on their own. Change yourself. Transform your mind into a weapon that it's meant to be. The weapon that it's meant to be. And go out there and destroy everything that stands in your way. Because when you control your mind and trust the Creator, nothing, I mean absolutely nothing, can stop you. There's no magic formula, no secret trick, that will make everything easier. Life is hard, and it's meant to be hard. And the moments that make you realize that, the sooner that you accept that, the sooner that you'll start winning. But here's the kicker. The pain, the struggle, that's where you build your power. If you can't embrace the grind and you can't push through when you're at your lowest, when your body's begging you to quit, then you're never going to make it. You're just going to be another average person stuck in the same cycle of excuses and failure. And I'll tell you this right now. You can't run from it. Life is all about facing adversities head on. Facing your fears, facing your struggles, and defeating them. And every time you overcome one obstacle, you're not just surviving, you're even getting stronger. Every single time you push yourself further than you ever thought possible, you evolve into something greater. And that's when you realize that there's no finish line. There's no end, and it doesn't stop. You've got to keep raising the bar. And when you think you've hit your limit, that's your time to push even harder. So listen, I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm here to tell you the truth. Life is going to crush you if you let it. But if you stand tall and you fight through the pain, have trust in your Creator, and refuse to break, then you will get to influence your destiny. You get to become the person that you were always meant to be. And trust me when I say this, the moment that you stop making excuses and the moment you stop blaming everyone else for your problems, that's the moment you take back your power. People will always doubt you. They'll always tell you it's too hard. They'll call you crazy for pushing past your limits. But here's the secret. Most people are afraid of their potential. And that's why they stay stuck. They're too scared to push through the hard stuff. So they settle for a life of mediocrity. But not you. You're different. We're different. If you're not willing to put in the work or to suffer or to push past your limits, you won't win. And if you are, that's why you'll win. And I'll tell you right now, the best part of all this is the satisfaction that comes from doing what others won't. The freedom that comes from knowing you're the only one that could control what they do to affect their circumstances, not your emotions, not your pain, is an incredible feeling. When you master your mind and trust the Creator, you can influence your life in the direction that you want it to go. The moment you stop letting it control you and start telling it where you're going and how you're going to get there, that's when you step into your true power. And you have to ask the Creator for assistance with that. It's the only way. So stop wasting time. The clock is ticking. Get to work. Make your mind an ally to you. Make it a weapon in your pocket to dominate every area in your life. Win that battle, and there's no limit to what you can achieve. When you conquer your mind, you conquer the world. Peace out.